All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the subscription economy. We're going to dig into these really powerful and honestly often hidden forces that are quietly reshaping how you spend your money, from the car you drive all the way to the shows you binge watch. So, let me ask you this. You ever check your bank statement and just see it? That charge for a streaming service you haven't clicked on in months? Or maybe a gym membership from a New Year's resolution that didn't quite stick? Yeah, if that sounds familiar, trust me, you are definitely not alone.
I mean, just think about how we're starting to own or not own cars. The old way was simple, right? A big one-time purchase, and then you pay for gas as you go. But now, with electric vehicles, we're seeing this massive shift. New payment models, like leasing or these salary sacrifice schemes, they turn a huge purchase into a simple, manageable monthly payment. It basically transforms car ownership into something that feels just like another subscription.
And it's the exact same story in finance. The days of actually having to go to a bank, wait in line, they're being replaced by these super slick digital neobank apps that work on a totally different model. Now, at first glance, it feels like a completely separate trend. But as we're about to see, all these changes are deeply, deeply connected.
So just how deep does this rabbit hole go? To really get what's happening, we first need to look at the symptoms of this massive transition. And believe me, they are absolutely everywhere.
So how many subscriptions are we all actually juggling right now? Well, this data paints a pretty clear picture. Over 85% of us, that's a huge number, have between 1 and 5 active subscriptions. We've kind of stopped owning things and just started subscribing to them. It's become the new normal for most of us.
And look, this isn't just about Netflix anymore. What's really wild here is the sheer variety. Yeah, streaming is the clear leader. Over 85% of us are subscribed to something. But look at the other stuff. Nearly half of us subscribe to food delivery services, and over a third to e-commerce like Amazon Prime. It has woven itself into almost every single part of our daily life.
And what about our money? This is wild. According to McKinsey, 1 out of every 4 new bank accounts opened in Europe is with a digital-only bank. That is a massive signal that our basic behaviors around even the most essential services are changing at a crazy, crazy speed. So this is where it gets really interesting. We see this shift in cars, in banking, in entertainment, even how we eat. What if these aren't just a bunch of parallel trends happening at the same time? What if they're all being driven by the exact same, very clever psychological playbook? You see, the common thread here is psychology. The incredible success of the subscription model isn't just about being convenient. It's built on a really deep understanding of behavioral economics, a set of principles companies use to keep us happily paying month after month after month. Okay, so it all really boils down to 4 key psychological traps you're looking at right now. The first one is loss aversion. That's that powerful gut feeling that makes us terrified of losing something we already have, like our favorite shows or that sweet, sweet free shipping. Next up is the sunk cost fallacy. This is the little voice that convinces us to keep paying for something just because we've already put so much time or money into it. Then you've got inertia and default bias. Companies know it's just easier for us to do nothing, so they make auto-renewal the default. And finally, there's the habit loop, where these services are so expertly designed to just become a seamless part of our daily routine. And this chart right here, it shows exactly how those traps work inside our own heads. Just look at the data for why people don't cancel. Over a quarter of us admit it's a fear of loss. Well, that's loss aversion, right there in black and white. And almost another quarter worry about wasting money they've already spent. That is a textbook case of the sunk cost fallacy in action. So we've got the psychological theory down. Now let's put it into practice and see how this blueprint is being used in the real world, connecting it right back to those examples we started with. Remember that shift in car ownership? This is where the psychology gets really clever. Payment models like salary sacrifice are kind of genius because they remove the single biggest point of pain, that huge upfront cost. It totally sidesteps our natural resistance to dropping a massive amount of cash at once. Let's make that real for a second. A brand new Nissan Ariya might cost, say, £584 a month through one of these schemes. But after you factor in the tax savings, the actual net cost to you drops to just £393. All of a sudden, a premium electric car feels incredibly affordable, and it taps right into that subscription mindset of small, easy, recurring payments. So what about the neobanks? They win by just eliminating friction. Think about it. A traditional bank can take days and a stack of paperwork, but a neobank takes maybe 10 minutes on an app. They have lower fees and, look at that, much higher customer satisfaction. They're basically designed for what's called cognitive ease, our brain's natural tendency to take the simplest path. And this model isn't just digital. Take fast fashion. It's not a formal subscription, but it acts exactly like one by creating this incredibly powerful habit loop. You buy cheap clothes that, let's be honest, aren't made to last. This creates a constant need for something new and forces you into the cycle of just buying more and more. It's a physical subscription that traps you in a pattern of continuous spending. Okay, so if this is what's happening now, what's next? Well, new technologies, especially artificial intelligence, are getting ready to make these subscription models even more powerful, more personalized, and way more integrated into our lives.
According to analysts at RBC Capital Markets, we are at a major turning point. AI is shifting from something companies are just playing around with to a core business tool that actually delivers real results. And that, my friends, is going to have some huge implications for the subscription economy. So, how is AI going to supercharge this whole thing? Well, imagine your phone's AI assistant noticing you're researching a trip and then just seamlessly signing you up for a perfectly tailored travel insurance subscription. Or a streaming service's AI predicting you're about to cancel and instantly offering you 3 months at half price to really trigger your loss aversion. Heck, even our security is going to become a subscription, as AI-driven cyber threats make protection feel less like a choice and more like a flat-out necessity. We're looking at a future where subscriptions are smarter, more predictive, and way, way stickier than ever before. So now that we've kind of exposed the playbook, we get to the final and, frankly, the most important part of all this. What can you actually do about it? Because knowledge is power, and you can absolutely take back control. Here are 3 simple but incredibly powerful steps you can take today. First, audit your bank statements. Every single month, go through them and hunt down those forgotten charges. Second, use technology to fight back. There are apps out there that can pull all your subscriptions into one place and make canceling them way easier. And third, this one is so crucial, anytime you sign up for a free trial, immediately, right then, set a calendar reminder for 2 days before it ends. That one simple habit can save you a fortune. Look, the subscription economy is designed to be frictionless, to just run on autopilot in the background of your life. But it doesn't have to. By understanding the psychology that's being used, you get to shift from being a passive consumer to an active decision maker. The choice of where your money and, just as importantly, your attention goes is ultimately yours to make.